One.
Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it. Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Generation Shock. I'm never gonna get that right. I'm just telling you right now. No matter what I do,
Yeah, I didn't get an alert.
it's on though.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I'll never get that right though. With the whole Generation Shock, the way he does it, I'm just got to like record it, call him up one day, record his voice, just have him jump in and like do it for recording for me, so that way I can just like throw it in every episode. You know what I mean?
We'll do like in Mortal Kombat. We'll be like, whoopsie, he shows up. Little face
Toasty.
in the bottom.
Yeah. Generation Shock. How's everybody doing out there today? We tried out our new intro. Hope you guys like it. Let us know what you thought about it. Today it's just going
I
to
wanted
be
to see it. I didn't get a chance to see it.
Oh,
But go
I
ahead, go
saw
ahead.
it. But today's it's just the two of us out here. Our boy Goldo, unfortunately, is had to take a little hiatus today. He's off doing some personal things, and the only 10 I see. But we still love him and want to shout him out. I don't think we need any introductions here today because, you know, we're just famous right now. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody loves us. They know us. And, I mean, with the new intro, what more can I say? I mean, it was beautiful. The colors and everything going on. And believe it or not, we're on time. We actually started at 10 o'clock today, which is huge. So, yeah, I guess I don't know, man. Without further ado, so we just jump right in. What are you thinking? What do you want? I mean,
That's for the sake of the show. Just do the intro. Introduce yourself.
Okay. I knew this guy wanted to. All right. So as you guys know, it's me. It's your boy. It's the monster on the mic. It's Sheck Monster. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I like that.
The crowd loves me. I can't help it. Along with me is one of my close friends. I've known him for quite a long time, and he's known the world for even longer. You know, he drives around, pimping it out in his and hers. It's my boy.
Yo. How's everybody doing? This is Messiah, and again, I'm just joining y'all in Nazdravi.
Oh, everybody's laughing at you today. It's okay though. Oh, look at him cheersing. This guy's about to go in tonight.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
Yeah, man. Knocking him back. All right. So we got a great show planned out for you guys today. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about a couple different things. And we're just going to have fun with it. But first, before we get started, the same way we do every week, it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Here we go. Let's kick it off.
Gotta climb to the top, but we're never gonna stop. When the low, yeah, we going high.
If you ever talk over my intro again, I'm going to pound you, bro. Okay. It's a monster week in sports. It's a delay. Remember, there would be.
Yes, I keep forgetting that shit.
Okay.
See, I gotta we got used to real quick. We got used to like live and no transitions. That now that we're starting to improve the show. 2021, we did say we were gonna improve the show. We're gonna start doing the transitions and all that. I keep forgetting that there's a delay, and I'm like, fuck.
Well, the problem is too, just to give you guys a little behind the scenes, these transitions that we make, we don't hear the audio. You do.
Yeah, we don't.
That's what's hard. What we used to do is when I played the intro, I played it on my soundboard, so everything kind of played through our audio sets. But now the way that it works is we don't technically hear it. You guys do. So it's a little bit different that way, but it's all fun and games. Let's talk about a monster week in sports. Let's just jump right off, which was a monster game Sunday night for the world to see. The Browns coming out and whopping on them Steelers. Oh my gosh, did you see that?
They started off strong. I was
Dude,
like, holy shit.
The first play
quarter,
of the
I think they
game.
had, 28 points?
Dude, the first play of the game, the ball was hiked over Roethlisberger's head. They recovered it for a touchdown because Connor and Roethlisberger just looked at each other and got lost. Ooh, do you want to get it? No. Do you want to get it? No. Oh, okay, they'll get it. It's cool. And then after that, it was a pick. Then they ran it. They got a touchdown. Another pick. They got another touchdown. Like it was 28-0 in the first quarter. Crazy
Dude,
game.
I had that game bet on I play NBC Sports, that the app where you predict NBC Sport Predict. Anyway, I had Cleveland winning by 7 points. Little did I know, they had 28 points in the first quarter. It's crazy.
Oh, that nobody predicted that kind of butt whooping.
Yep.
I mean, they've been on a downslide over there, but man, did they just get trounced. It was ridiculous. Crazy. There was quite a few good games, though. The Bills and Colts game was a really good game. Came down to the wire. Bills advanced. Congratulations. One of my big surprises was the Titans and the Ravens. Yeah. Lamar got his first playoff win. Congratulations, Lamar. That was a great thing. Everybody applauds him, Everybody talked all that trash. I've only been into the playoffs every year that I've played, but I didn't win one yet in 3 years. Big whoop. Like, the guy is still young, but hey, he got his first victory, so congratulations.
What do you think of the Bills quarterback? He's nice. I mean,
he's real nice.
Always wait for the sophomore year, right? Because this is his freshman year, right?
Nope.
He's not a rookie?
Nope. He came in with Lamar Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, Lamar was the 5th quarterback. He was the 3rd one drafted, I think.
But this is the first time he actually playing the whole season.
Nope.
Well, not really.
Dude, where have you been? This is your division.
Wow. Yeah, I know, but like I didn't see him last year.
Yeah, he played the entire season last year.
I don't remember. Well, anyways, he had a good. Congrats to him. He had a kick-ass year. He's having a kick-ass year.
You know what the difference was?
Actually giving him a chance.
Do you know what the difference was between this year and last year? Is they made that trade for Stephon Diggs for him.
Yeah.
And that changed everything. Because now he has a true number one receiver.
I'll tell you what's the other difference.
Oh, here we go.
A few of the Patriots defenders decided to opt out.
Because that would have mattered.
It would have.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
It would have.
But bottom line is there was a lot of good games. It was an enjoyable super wild card weekend. I enjoyed it. This week we got some good matchups. Unfortunately, there was one team that didn't quite pull it off this week, and I was sorry to see that happen. They played a good game though. Dub Bears doing Dub Bears type of things.
Yeah, don't remind him. Don't remind.
I know.
Don't
I'm sorry,
remind
Viper. I'm just, I feel for you, brother. But
you want him to log out. I mean, we only have like 4 viewers. If he logs out, and they log out.
I get it. But tell me this: listen, the Rams and the Green Bay Packers, I think is going to be a good game, and to watch the Saints and the Bucks for a 3rd time, Brady versus Breeze, that's going to be a hell of a game. Like, I'm excited.
So this is how. See, my wife is rooting for Bills, right? And I'm rooting for Tampa because of Tom Brady. My wife is like, she gave up on Tom Brady. She's like, he's a traitor. I'm like, he gave us 20 years of his life and took us to the Super Bowl 9 times and won 6. Come on, what else can you ask for? I mean, he did it. He gave us everything. He gave us his life. So I'm still gonna root for him as long as Tom Brady's still in the playoffs. I'm good.
I get it. I can't get mad at that.
He's a traitor.
Yeah,
she's heartbroken.
Listen, it hurts a lot of people out there, and I understand why. It was definitely, it's tough to see your guy go out and do so well on other teams, but it's one of those things. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but here's a debate that I've been having with people. People are saying, you see, it's not Belichick, it's Brady. No, it might seem like that now, but that's not. It's the Belichick system. Even though this year, I know this year doesn't prove that the Belichick system worked, but they're still trying to solve some issues, and he has some players that opt out. Yeah,
So hold on though, because our whole argument in the past about why Tom Brady isn't what I make him out to be compared to everybody else is I say he's a system quarterback. But now you're saying the same thing, but before you said it wasn't.
No,
it was his greatness.
No, I'm not saying confused. He's a system quarterback. I'm saying if you compare both of them, they play well together, right? And it's not because Belichick is off it's not in the playoffs, and Tom Brady is, that they each are unsuccessful without the other. They're not successful. Unsuccessful is not even a word. They're not successful. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. You say what you will now. I know what you were saying earlier, but it's okay. We'll let it slide. There was some other stuff going on. Today was a news break for those of you who are basketball fans. I don't know if you guys saw this, and I know Messiah probably didn't because he's not into sports, but I definitely think it's something got to be brought up. James Harden traded to the Brooklyn Nets.
Ooh, wow, really?
So team back up with Kevin Durant.
That's news to me. What?
Yeah. Yep. Huge trade went down today. Huge trade in sports.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild. I haven't heard all the details, but I can tell you this: Kyrie Irving may decide he wants to come back and play, because if not, they might just cut his ass and they don't need him anymore, because he's been on hiatus. He hasn't played in like 4 games, putting personal reasons out there and stuff. So he's been missing.
Yeah.
But
that's actually news to me, bro. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Hockey started also. So we got hockey back. So that's good. I heard there was one team in
Professional hockey?
Yep. And I heard there was
already
one team,
up.
Yep. And I heard there was just like basketball started back up.
I know.
But I did hear there was one team in the NHL that has 17 cases of COVID. So let's see how long this stuff lasts, because basketball's being hit with it, hockey's already been hit with it. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I will say that.
It is.
So,
it is.
But there was another game that was played that's going to help us bring into our next topic, our first topic of the day, and it was Alabama and Nick Saban winning his 6th championship, and in dominating fashion. They dominated, and the guy who won the Heisman, his last name's Smith. I can't remember his first name. First half, he put up a national championship record with 12 receptions, 215 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And he only played the first half because he hurt his finger at the beginning of the second.
So I'm assuming he's a receiver, not a running back.
First receiver since 1991 to win the Heisman.
Nice.
I think Desmond Howard.
91 was what? 91 was what?
Desmond Howard,
guy,
I think.
Right? Was it Desmond Howard?
Yeah, I think so.
What about what's his name? Played for the Patriots also. Randy Moss. It's not Randy Moss?
He never won a Heisman. You kidding me?
I thought he did.
Dude, he played in Marshall. He never won a Heisman.
Oh, okay. Never
He
mind.
wasn't even on the radar. Get out of here.
Never mind.
Yeah.
See, I don't watch college sports. I'm not
I
into
don't
it.
watch him like that, but I know enough about it.
Yeah.
So,
But Nick Saban and Bill Belichick are like tight, right? And all I've heard is Nick Saban. I even looked it up. Nick Saban's a beast. I guess he's the beast. You told me he's the beast in college.
So that brings up my question, right?
Yeah.
And I'll flash it on the screen. Dynasties. What makes one? What's considered a dynasty, right? And I think it's fitting that we talk about this today with Alabama just winning its 6th national championship, right? And that's Alabama's 6th with Nick Saban, but it's Saban's 7th. He won one with LSU before he went to Miami and then snuck out in the middle of the night to go down to Alabama. If you remember that. You remember that?
I don't, but
you don't remember when he was the coach of Miami and he says, "I will not."
Oh,
be...
yes.
And then he snuck in the middle of the night on a jet
because I
down to
remember
Alabama.
that.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
I remember the reason I remember that is because they gave a documentary about Bill Belichick and then him together, and then they talked about them two, and then how he left Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
And left to coach in college.
Yep. So
He's better off in college.
Yeah. So real quick, what I'll do is I'll throw up what my boy Mazai over here found as the definition of a dynasty, and we'll see what you guys think if you agree with it. What?
I'm a little biased. So what I think of
and then
dynasty
we'll go ahead and we'll talk about it a little bit. So just so everybody has a chance to read it and see it and know what it says. So basically,
that's an argument right there. I know you started debating that definition.
Oh,
right.
Who, me?
So you guys are reading that. You guys are reading that definition, right? If you guys didn't catch it, rewind it and then double tap on the left screen and it rewinds. Check Monster was on my ass about that shit. He's like, that doesn't define it. I'm like, I thought it did.
When you look at it, what definition is there? There is no definition involved in that. So that's what brings it up. So let's start with Alabama, right? Let's start with this. Messiah, what do you think is considered a dynasty? Let's start there. Let's go.
In order for a team to be qualified as a dynasty, they have to win 3 consecutive. They have to dominate their sport. They have to dominate their section, their league, or actually the conference. For me, they have to dominate the conference, right? I know it's supposed to be only like you win the Super Bowl, you win the World Series, you win the NHL, that Stanley Cup. It's supposed to be that. But I think if you dominate your area, if you dominate, let's say your district, if you dominate your conference, it makes you a dynasty. I give you an example. We debate this earlier, and we're like, we'll save it for the show. Bills, 4 times to the Super Bowl, didn't win it, but they dominated the Eastern. The Eastern Conference. They dominated
the AFC.
Well, remember they made it to the Super Bowl 4
Correct.
times.
So they won the AFC.
Yes. Yeah. You're right. They won the AFC. I'm thinking about Eastern Conference basketball.
I know you're talking about districts and stuff. Like, what is this, election year?
I ran out. You see this? And I ran out.
Get this guy another drink.
Yeah. So I think even though they didn't win the Super Bowl, they were dominating.
So
now,
okay, but so what length of time then do you think qualifies?
I think 3 or more championships.
See, here you go.
Wait. Within 10 years.
Now you're already contradicting yourself. This is what I love about you, right? Because you do this to yourself. So on one hand, you say dynasty is somebody who dominates their league.
Championships.
It doesn't need to have championships. Their league, their conference, their
I just cover myself with that.
Their district, as he says, right? Yeah. And then on the other hand, well, you have to win at least 3 championships in 10 years.
I know.
Well, hold on a second.
Well, technically, they won the AFC Championship. The Bills.
Okay.
They didn't win the Super Bowl, but they won the AFC Championship. So, that's an asterisk there. See.
Okay, so what if a team wins their division? They're a division champion. So if somebody wins their division 3 straight years or 3 years period, they're a dynasty because they're division champ.
Yeah,
that's a championship.
3 out of 10.
Yeah,
I think 3 out of 10 is a good number.
Okay, so you're telling me the Giants had a dynasty because they've won 3 division championships. They didn't make it. They didn't make it very far after.
Yeah, you can say that.
That's the weakest. Then how is there's so many?
From my definition. Come
on, bro. You gotta have a structure. So here's my definition, right?
The actual sport definition, that's different. That's
no.
debated.
There is no definition. That's the problem. When we pulled it up, that wasn't a definition. There was nothing there to define anything. It just said something about sports or individual. Okay, great. Yeah. But here's the thing. To me, if you're a dynasty, right? Number one, you have to have championships. Flat out. Okay. The Bills are a great team. They weren't a dynasty. They didn't win nothing. Okay. If you ain't winning, you ain't singing. Like, just number one. Number two, 3 out of 10. This isn't baseball. That doesn't make a dynasty. Okay. Batting 300 isn't good enough. Like, you have to win a minimum of 4.
If you bat
minimum
of baseball, you're getting 50 to 60 million a year.
That's fine. But if I'm catching 3 out of 10 balls in football, I'm on the bench. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. True. If I'm making 3 out of 10 baskets in basketball, I'm on the bench.
Okay.
Right?
So what do you think? In what span do you think it makes him a dynasty?
First of all, Viper is agreeing with me real quick. You got to win championships to be a dynasty. Right? So that's, I feel like that ends that debate. Right?
Yeah. Once Viper stamps it, it ends it.
Right, there you go. That's number one. He gave me the seal of approval.
He's the old wise one. He's the wise one.
Number two, you have to win more than 3. Like, I don't see how 3, because hypothetically, right, you look at a team, and I'm not saying there's a team that did this, but theoretically what you're saying to me is if I win one in 1990, I win one in 1995, and I win one in 1999.
Yeah.
I'm a dynasty? Like, how is that a dynasty? Yeah. Like,
all right, you got me there. But
here's where
you can be like the Bulls, win 3, take a year off, and win another 3.
Well, first of all, the Bills are the easiest dynasty to point out. Period. Right? Mm-hmm. They won 6 in 10-year span. Right?
By the way, and the Celtics. So all the Patriots and the Celtics.
No, Patriots are not a dynasty.
What?
How are the Patriots a dynasty?
Oh, okay. Now we're gonna start this shit. Okay,
how are the Patriots a dynasty?
Okay, all right. So first of all, from 2001 to 2019, all we've been doing is dominating the conference and winning Super Bowls.
Okay.
Now, hold on, I'm gonna pull this up.
This up because I have it too. Go ahead.
All right, hold on.
You want to talk about the years the Patriots won?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold up. But bring up yours while I'm looking at mine.
Just so everybody sees, this is why they're not a dynasty. The Patriots won in 2001, 2003, and 2004, right?
So okay,
Hold on, let me
2001,
finish.
2003, 2004.
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
They didn't win another championship for 10 years. 10 years. Until they won back in 2014, 16, and 18. Right?
Okay. Is that okay?
There's a 10-year gap, right? So how are you a dynasty if you didn't win in 10-year span? You had a 10-year gap, you didn't win anything.
Because the definition, right?
See, here we go.
It was 10 to 17 division championship in a row.
Okay. They were a great team.
In a row.
So here we go again, because now what you're saying is when
we got 6 out of 9 we went to the Super Bowl 9 times and got 6.
Okay,
How
it doesn't.
how in 2 decades how do we not dominate? How is that not considered
so
a dynasty?
there we go. Hold on. So what's the time frame of a dynasty? There. See, I'm glad you brought that up because that's part of what I want to talk about. What is a time frame in your mind? Because you said 10 years. But now you're telling me over a 20-year span. So you won 3 in one 10-year span. You won 3 in another 10-year span. You had 10 years between.
Yeah. So 9 Super Bowls, right? 9 Super Bowls in 20 years.
No.
Won 6. Wait, won 6 out of the 9.
Okay.
And then dominated the Eastern Conference.
But here's the thing.
The division,
you won 3 on this end, right? You won 3 at look. Here's your timeline. You won 3 over here, and then you won 3 way over here 10 years later. There was a huge gap in the middle.
On both decades is a dynasty.
No, because 3 is not a dynasty. That's my point. 3 championships.
So you're saying, okay, so you're saying.
Because what you're saying is as long as you win 3 in a 4-year span, 4 years is 4 years is all you need for a dynasty. Is a 4-year window.
So you're saying that so you're saying that the Warriors are not a dynasty.
No. Hell no.
But they were being quoted as a dynasty.
People could, but that's once again we said we're talking about our own definitions.
Sports analysts.
Correct, and we quote our own definitions because to me, what the Bulls did was difficult. Right? You won 3 straight, left for 2 years, and came back and won 3 more. You won 6 championships in a period of time that's unheard of. That's a dynasty. I think the problem with sports is we want to throw out the word dynasty way too easy. The Lakers with Kobe and Shaq, was that a dynasty because they won 3?
No.
How is it not? You just said it's a dynasty.
Because they won 3 back. They didn't go back to back to back.
Yes, they did.
Not 3 in a row.
Yes, they did. And then they split up.
I don't remember that.
Look it up.
I don't remember. I'm gonna look it up.
When he went from Orlando to LA, him and Kobe won 3 straight, and then he bounced. And he went over to Miami and won with Dwayne Wade.
He won. No, I thought he won 2 with Dwayne Wade.
No, he won
1. You're right. Huh. Damn, I've been out of sports that much. Shit.
So that's my point. So they're not a dynasty then? Like, that's my point. We get that, and that's why I don't like throwing that word dynasty around. Dynasty is supposed to be saved for teams that are dominant and win championships more than anybody else. Because on that fact, like, you know.
No, but you have to give if you win a 3P, if you go on a 3P, you dominated you dominated.
So the Dallas Cowboys were a dynasty.
In the 80s, I believe they were.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
92 to 95.
Okay, yeah, 90s. In the 90s, yeah, because in the 80s was you had the Redskins that won in the 80s. You had San Francisco that won in the 80s. Yeah. So, what year you said Cowboys?
92 to 95.
Why wouldn't you not consider that a dynasty?
It was 3 championships.
Yeah, that's
not a dynasty to me.
Getting
it takes more than 3.
Listen, getting 1, it's hard enough. Getting 3 in a row, that should be considered a dynasty.
They didn't get 3 in a row.
But I'm just saying, 3 within 5 years or 10 years, 3 within 10 years span. It's hard enough.
I mean, I don't agree with the way that you can build teams, you can sign contracts and everything else.
I'll tell you why. You know why you don't agree, right? You know why?
Why?
Because in 10 years, besides the Yankees, has the Giants won in 10 years? 3. With a 10-year gap.
We do the 2, and then we wait, and then 2. Yeah,
I think that's why.
But it has nothing to do with it.
That's why you put your own definition.
Well,
but when it comes to baseball,
first of all, I'm allowed to. That's the whole point of this conversation, right? It's our own definition because there is no definition.
Your definition, and mine is within 10 years, 3 championships. Especially if you win 3 in a row, that should automatically qualify you. And now I agree with you in a sense of 91, the example you gave me, 91, 95, and 99. I see that's kind of difficult, right? Because that's a 10-year span in 3. But if you win 3 in a row, should automatically like put you in that conversation that you're a dynasty. Because 1 is hard enough. 2 is it's like Jordan told Kevin Garnett when he won his NBA Finals. Yeah, congratulations, you won 1. Now go for your next one, and then we'll have this conversation.
But if that's the case, then you almost by default have to consider the Bills dynasty, because to me, it's just as hard to go to 4 straight Super Bowls.
That's what I'm
even losing them all.
That's why I believe that. That's why I believe they could have been in their division or in their And
then what about the Philadelphia Eagles going to 5 straight conference championships?
I would consider that.
But that's my. All right, we'll agree to disagree on that. I mean, the only thing I will say for sure is this.
Okay. Here's the thing. I get it. The dynasty has to win the biggest trophy. They have to be the top.
And you have to do it more than the average of what a 10-year span is, right? Your 3 wins isn't.
Okay, so all right, so in your definition, the Patriots were a dynasty then?
No, they weren't.
How? They did it for 20 years. They went to the Super Bowl 9 times and won 6.
Correct. 3 and
in
then
20
3.
Years.
They
Check
didn't. But
you know that in itself is hard enough. But to go 9 and no, and not only that, and then Tom Brady, being the GOAT that he is, right?
So is LeBron James a dynasty?
No, but he's a GOAT.
How is he not a dynasty? He went to 9 straight finals.
I think Michael Jordan's a GOAT.
He went to 9 straight NBA finals and won 4 or 5 of them. I forget, 4, right? 4. Now, maybe, missed 1 year and then went back and won a 5th or something like that, right? He has 4 or 5. I can't remember.
With a different team, right?
Well, his 3rd team. He has 3 teams now he's won a championship with. Mm-hmm. So he's by himself.
He's just a beast.
He's a dynasty then, right?
He's a dominated player.
Well, how is he not a dynasty? By your definition, he's a dynasty. He's the one doing it.
Okay. By my definition, he would be, yes, because he's been there 9 times in what? Wait,
he was there in
10 years.
It was like 8 or 9 straight years, and then he missed 1, and then we won another one. Because he won 2 with the Heat, right, or 3?
Yeah, I agree. Teams are dynasties, players are MVPs. Stamped, solidified.
Where's it say that? Oh, it didn't come up yet.
Solidified.
That's not true. If you look at the definition, if we go back to the definition, it says players can be dynasties.
Yes, or individual. Or an individual.
That's what I meant, individuals. So there's an individual.
So since we're talking about that, and I was hearing in the background Tiger Woods, Michael Phelps.
Well, that's what I was about to bring up. First of all, Tiger Woods, absolutely a dynasty.
Okay.
Michael Phelps, dynasty. How's he not?
He's a beast.
Like, let's be honest.
He's Aquaman.
He's a freaking. He's just ridiculous, is what he is. Like, this guy has how many medals, doing how many things? Like, it's one of those things.
Over 10, right?
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. He dominated for how many years?
Gold medals too.
Doing how many things? Yeah, so. I mean, if we go by the other definition, individuals can be dynasties, which is why I brought up that whole thing about LeBron James being a dynasty. But
LeBron James.
We brought up Michael Phelps, so we need to jump into the next topic.
Okay.
And the next topic we're going to talk about is going to be the Olympics coming up in 2021. And so we want to jump in and we want to, talk about a little bit. I want to hear from you. What do you think about the fact they got postponed? Are they to be postponed again? What are your feelings? Viper, go back and rewatch the show. According to that definition, buddy, it said that people could be dynasties. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's what Wikipedia said, and that's what Messiah sent me. So if you don't like it, blame
Wikipedia.
him.
If Wikipedia says it, it's correct.
Yeah, that's what Messiah screenshotted me. I'm only,
I know. I know.
But yeah, let's talk about the Olympics 2021, man. What do you think?
I was actually surprised. I thought I kind of expected it because it got postponed. I expected it for 2021, or I thought what was going to happen is they was going to just skip it for the next 4 years. They was just leave it out to this team. But after thinking about it, the country invested so much money preparing for the Olympics. They had to move it to the year after. They had to. You know how much money gets involved in that shit? They were like, yo, we need bringing this shit.
But I get that, but do you think that we're going to have the Olympics this year?
I think so.
Even with the cases rising the way they are in sports right now.
Yeah, because it's rising a lot more in the US, right? Because we still have assholes out there that don't want to wear a mask or still think it's you know, it's fake. But it's rising a lot out here. Now, I don't watch too much national news, but usually they do point out certain stuff in certain countries where there's hotspots and all that shit. So, but I think we are going to have an Olympics, especially a summer one. I'm looking forward to it. I think we need some sports in our life more, right? Especially the Olympics to root us together because of what's going on right now. But I think it's important for the Olympics to happen this year, especially because of that.
Well, let me ask you, if you're an Olympian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is in Tokyo where a lot of this stuff started, right? And not Tokyo, but in that
China.
Well, that hemisphere, right?
That region. Yeah.
Do you want to go? Would you put yourself at risk to go to the Olympics?
Bro, if I'm an Olympian, that means I am a tip-top shape. That means I can catch Ebola and still run my ass off.
Okay, but
I'm fucking around.
Wasn't the Winter Olympics that was in South America?
The what?
Wasn't it the Winter Olympics that was in South America?
I believe
there was an Olympic game that just happened a couple of years ago. It was either 4 or 2, where there was people talking about boycotting because of the conditions of health and safety were at an all-time low in that area. And people weren't going to play because there were risks of their long-term health and how it could affect them. How is this any different?
Well, I wasn't aware of that, so I don't know about that, right? I didn't watch that part of the news or caught that about or even remember that, but I can see how they'll probably go back and say, hey, some of the athletes will be like, no, I'm not doing it, right? Or some of them will say, yes, I would do it, just like we're watching in sports in America. Some will say yes, some will say, whoa, no. I'll tell you this much, the breakdancers are going to do it because it's the first year they're in the Olympics.
Oh, God, let's not get back into that. Okay, don't even start with that shit. Breakdancers, you got to be. So is that I was going to ask you, what are you excited about then when it comes to the Olympics? Is
one,
that the
I'm
sport
excited
you want to
about
see?
breakdancing.
Oh,
two,
my goodness.
the I love diving. Springboards and the platforms, I love that. I love floor gymnastics. I love parallel bars. I love that shit, right?
Yeah,
so gymnastics cool. In general. And I love watching sprint.
Track and field, yeah. So, I like swimming, track and field. I think what they have to try to find a way to do is find a way to quarantine locations based on events almost, right? Like they should quarantine all the people doing the track and field events in a certain location. And then quarantine everybody who's going to be doing the swim events in a location. Because those are the people that interact with each other, right? So what they used to do is it used to be by country, right? And so what they would do is like, you're not quarantined, but America, all the Olympians are in this little area, right? And then like, I think they have to find a way to get away from that and be like, no, you're based on your event. All the little break dancers are going to be in a little break dancing, are going to have the cardboard box out back they sleep in, right? So they're ready for their thing. And everybody else is in the hotel rooms. So.
Yeah. What's going to be funny though, like, right? Because every other country took COVID so serious that when the United States show up, they're going to be like, yo, you stay on your side and fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah. You guys don't respect that shit. You guys don't respect COVID. You guys think it's fake. You guys can stay on your section. You can't quarantine, and then that's going to give every other country a chance to win the gold medal.
No, we're good because by then we got somebody in power that believes in COVID, so we good now. All right, that's good. That's old news. Yeah. That's fake news. Come on now. We'll be the country leading the way with, because unfortunately, what's going to happen is that the athletes are going to be told, they can go to the Olympics, and then they're not going to let them back in the country.
Yep, that's exactly. They're like, you got to quarantine before we start this event. So that's gonna be fun. But I'm actually looking forward. I think Olympics really brings the country together. I think we need that. We need that sports, and usually sports is the one that does it, right?
Yeah.
September 11 happened, and sports, baseball and all that brought us all back. You know, it continued right after that. Well, they were one of the first sports to actually start, and bring us back to reality, brings us back to normal, right? So I think the Olympics and sports would do that. So I'm actually looking forward to it. It is
to a degree, but the thing is I think just like sports now, they're enjoyable, but they're not the same without fans. The Olympics are going to be the same way, man. Like the Olympics, part of what you're getting from watching the Olympics is seeing the crowds and the emotion and the things that go on, right? Like, what's it going to look like when somebody jumps out the pool and puts their mask on and runs over and or the person's doing the front flip and their mask falls over their face? Like, say like it's good. They're
not going to be wearing a mask when they do diving.
I mean, you don't know. Some people feel safer that way.
But you're talking about the other side of the world. Did
you see the sprinters having to
way
breathe?
More advanced than ours.
They're doing the 100. They're doing the 100 yard dash with that mask on. Oh man, this is going to be exhausting. The marathons. Woof, you got to hold on. You're 6 feet. You're not 6 feet away from me. Let me get my water so I can rehydrate.
They're gonna be using the gas masks.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and look like incubators.
So
it's gonna be fun. But I'm looking forward. What are you looking forward towards?
I just hope it goes. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'll be honest. I don't see a logical way with the way the virus is changing, all that the Olympics actually go off. Because the problem is if it's up to America, we'll do it because we're doing regular sports. But I just don't see the rest of the world wanting to throw people out there and do that. Like, I don't know, man. Everything I watch is most of the world shut down. Like, they're not shut down, but they're very strict about what's going on in their countries. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, if this vaccine picks up and takes off or something, they can ship it out around the world. We'll see. But the virus is changing. It's developing. It's actually
evolving in Europe.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. So crazy. It's getting worse places. Like, so what's that mean then? So I don't know, man. I'm a little skeptical still.
Well, I think for the summer it's a different thing, right? I know it's gonna sound naive or it's gonna sound stupid, but I think by the summer we should have enough vaccines, right, throughout the world. Trust me, when there's money involved, shit happens. Shit gets involved, right? Yeah. Because and
there's gonna be a shit ton of money.
I know, and when there's unlimited money, you'd be like, okay, every person, like in the NFL, they perfectly did it, right? They did it, and so did the NBA, where they actually checked everybody before they walked in, and before they were with the other players, they checked everybody. They did all that. So that money gets involved like that. That's the same thing that's gonna happen in the Olympics.
All right. Well, when we talk about, whoa, what did I just do here? Man, my bad.
I just noticed what you did.
An hour. That's why my background's got to restart. I'm like, why did my background go away? So anyway, let's back into it. So we're talking about Olympians and we're talking about athletes and stuff. So I have a question that's been burning on my mind for a while now, that I've been kind of wondering, what is greatness? And what I mean by that is greatness something you're born with, or is it something that you create through hard work and dedication? And what do you think?
I think it's both. I think there's people that are born that just, you see them and you be like, bro, he has to or she has to. And now, are we talking only in sports?
No, it doesn't have to only be in sports.
Okay.
I mean, it's just, sometimes just a little easier
that have that. Yeah, there's just people when you see them, you be like, that's a natural leader, or that guy is a beast, right? I'll give you a perfect example. Bo Jackson. He had to be born with that. He didn't he had to be born with that talent, and he's one of those what I call freak of nature, that he's they come around once in a while, right? And you see a guy like that dominate in football and then dominate. Bo Jackson was so good that he stopped performing when he hurt himself. When he was running, and that's when he hurt his hip pop.
Yeah.
Running.
Yeah.
While he was carrying somebody when it happened. Right? So he was so good. He was such a freak that
it was natural talent.
Yeah. Now there's people like Michael Jordan that work their ass off and become greatness, because Michael Jordan worked his ass off. There's people like Tom Brady that work their ass off and become greatness.
Hold on,
those are those people
quick.
that have the attitude.
Here's my only thing, right?
Okay.
And people are going to hate me when I say this, and I really don't care. When we're talking about Michael Jordan, okay, do you know where he got drafted?
84.
But what number?
Third.
He was like third or sixth, right?
You know, he was third. No, he was not sixth. He was third, because it was Akeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
Somebody else and then him.
Hey, yeah. What college did he go to?
North Carolina.
Okay. What kind of college is that for basketball?
It's a great college.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me you had a guy who went to a great school, right? Hold on. Went to a great school in college, got drafted third overall, and you're saying how to work for his greatness? See, that's...
Of course he did.
But everybody works at their talent. There's a difference between working to be great and being born great. Michael Jordan was born great, right?
No.
Well,
No.
you're going to compare... No, because here's the difference.
Go ahead.
Tom Brady went to what college?
Michigan.
Right? And he wasn't even well known in Michigan. He wasn't a great college quarterback, was he?
Bro, he got picked 199.
Exactly. That's my point, right? Yeah. And I hate Tom Brady, but I will say this for him, right? He worked his ass off to be great at the position. He didn't have the natural talent that other quarterbacks did. And I've made this argument. Tom Brady has never been the most talented quarterback out there, but he's been one of the hardest working quarterbacks you'll ever meet. He studied the game, he understood it, and he worked harder than anybody else and made everybody else work hard around him, that he grew into greatness. Michael Jordan was already great. He just worked hard at it. My argument for Michael Jordan is a Kobe Bryant, right? You're going to tell me Kobe Bryant wasn't great from the start?
Yeah, of course he was. He went from college. He went from high school straight to the NBA.
Correct. And he still worked harder than anybody else out there, just like Michael Jordan
But so did Jordan.
Exactly.
But so did Jordan.
So my point is, they already had greatness. It wasn't, they already had the talent. They were a Bo Jackson. That was given to them, right? Tom Brady had to work for his. Jerry Rice, for instance, worked at being great. Jerry Rice wasn't the most talented person out there. He does not have the most talent that any receiver ever had. How many receivers could we name? I could name 5 off the top of my head that were more talented than Jerry Rice. That's my point. That's my point. Yeah. That's my point. He worked harder than people. There's a difference between talent and working for it, right? Yeah, there you go. Antonio Brown was born with talent, but he can't maintain greatness. How many people do we see that were born with these great athletes and do nothing with it? The difference between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and those other athletes is they still work hard with it. But we see there are certain people who aren't born great athletes, but work hard to become great athletes and become greater even so at their position compared to everybody else.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson? As far as born with it, or they worked their ass off to get...
Mike Tyson was absolutely born with it. 100%.
And you think Muhammad Ali worked his ass off to get it?
I wasn't around
I think Muhammad Ali was born with it. I think Mike Tyson worked his ass off. Well, he had to work
Mike
his
Tyson
ass off.
was born with the talent to knock people out. Like, that's just, he was born with the ability to knock people out. Like, there's not, you know, I don't know enough about Muhammad Ali to comment on that. Well, I mean, he's another, he could have been another one. I believe he's probably another like Michael Jordan. He was born with great talent and worked hard to maintain it, which is why he's one of the greatest ever. Just like there's nothing taking anything away from Michael Jordan by saying that he was born with great talent and worked hard to maintain it. That's not taking anything away from him.
But I don't think Jordan was born with great talent, because Jordan loved baseball, right?
Exactly.
And Jordan was kicked out of his freshman year when he played basketball, right? His freshman year, he tried out for the varsity team. He got kicked out. He didn't get picked.
But he made it to UNC. What kind of you're telling me if you're not talented, you're going to UNC?
He worked his ass off.
But it doesn't matter how hard you work if you don't have the talent. At that young age, you have to understand, at that age, you have to have talent. I don't care how hard you work at that age. Now, there are people that get undrafted into the NFL that continue to work on their talent, that's where their greatness comes from, right? Yeah. Because they weren't great without it. I think there is a difference there. That's all I'm saying. You know, when I look at athletes like Randy Moss, how's a talent, bro? Like he was born with a talent. Terrell Owens was born with a natural talent. Like some of these guys, but Jerry Rice, he wasn't born with a talent. He worked his ass off to make himself the greatest receiver ever.
Yeah, I can see that. I see your point. I see your point. But like, I just think like, for example, a person that would work their ass off would be like Edelman. He would work his ass off. Right?
Yeah.
Gronk is just a beast, right? He's just a physical guy. And I know I'm only talking about Patriots players, but the way I look at it is, you know, Edelman would have to work harder than Gronk to be dominant as a receiver.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what you mean.
I mean, yeah, forget it.
You just want to bring up Patriots. You just want to start naming Patriots. Yeah, I mean, Tim Bruschi, blah, 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 blah. Like, I mean, you're just going to randomly name people? Jeez.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring Edelman up. For some reason, I wanted to use him.
We don't have to stick on this topic long because, you know, it's getting around that time anyway. But I just want to bring it up because I thought it was something, because honestly, the thing that got brought up about it, when we talk about the Alabama receiver who just won the Heisman, one of his main comments was he was told his whole life he was too small, too slow. He wasn't, you know, he was never going to be great at what he did. And like Nick Saban talks about this kid all the time. He's worked harder than almost any athlete he's been around. And this guy did something that hasn't been done since 1991. It's only been done 3 times in history, and won the Heisman as a wide receiver, right? So
you're saying that he worked his ass off. It wasn't that he had the talent.
So no, you have to have some level of talent.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, but yeah. No.
There you go.
Okay.
Viper just said it.
You're born with the talent. Yes.
You develop greatness. Okay.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is,
I agree with that.
And what I'm saying though is, for some people, you have to work harder, because I think Tom Brady worked harder later on in his life than he did in the beginning. Tom Brady worked harder when he got into the NFL to become great and maintain it than he did when he was younger.
The fact that he told Robert Kraft, "I'm the best decision you ever made," just tells you that he's a hardworking man, and he's one, cocky, 2, because if you work your ass off, you know you're good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. So, all right, we got to hop into everybody's favorite segment, or at least yours, that's for sure. And I don't have one ready this week, but that's okay, because I'll figure it out, because I always do.
You're just gonna feed up what I say, and then you'll be like, "See, this is where you come off with."
I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. You know what I mean? But oh man.
All right, so I gotta create an intro. I need an intro, a transition intro for Fuck Outta Here. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm thinking. All right, here's a debate on this, real quick. An idea.
Okay, go ahead. Live
Friday.
You guys are gonna hear what I listen to. Hold on, everybody. I just want you guys to all take witness, because this is what I deal with on a weekly basis with this guy. He's gonna let you a little inside of his craziness. So go ahead. So
I'm thinking of using an intro where, you know, where in the movie Friday, where Tebow throws a guy out of the bike, or steal his bike. Yeah. I think I'm gonna use that for Fuck Outta Here. That's really Fuck Outta Here. Just that.
Guys, it's time for a Fuck Outta Here with my boy Messiah. It's time. We're going to find a better intro than that. But until then, you know what I'm saying? We got our logo up.
I like the logo, though. Yeah. So. It's mad funny because Viper last week was like, he sent me the text. I think he sent it to you too. Like, that Fuck Outta Here guy is like screaming at the other guy. He's going to give him Kobe because he's not wearing a mask.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That was funny. All right.
So
go ahead.
My Fuck Outta Here is going to be this, right? I know we're trying to stay away from politics, and we're trying to stay away from that part of the show. But I just have to say this because it's one of those things that frustrates me. And I watched actually the debate for the impeachment, and I watched that, and you want to hear both sides. these guys are politicians. They're lawmakers, right? So I'm assuming a bunch of them are actually lawyers. So they're debating why and why not, why and why not. But I'm like, it's just crazy how these guys are out there defending this asshole that did what he did. Out there, set up a date, January 6th, assembled with them, right, and then told him walk over there and show some strength because there's nothing with weakness, and then they still defend this guy and say that he didn't do anything wrong. Fuck out of here with that shit. That is bullshit. How are you gonna just sit up there and say no, he didn't? And that's the problem. And I said it, and I know it sounds like I'm repeating myself from the week before because I said it. It's not just Donald Trump. It's everybody that his constituents is what the word, what they use. They're all a part of that shit. So fuck out of here with it. Stop defending his ass. Anyways, he already got impeached. That's my fuck out of here.
So
there wasn't enough emotion in it because I was like, I'm just upset with what's going on right now.
That's all right. I'm mine's actually on a similar tone. And my whole thing is, you know what? Everybody just get the fuck over it. Like, I hate to say it,
yeah,
but like, do me a favor. You either go out and you put them on charges, or get the fuck over it, because this impeachment means absolutely nothing. You crying about it means absolutely nothing. Unless you're gonna do something legally, then fuck out of here with this shit, because all you're doing is wasting all of our time. Because we have how many days left? Okay, it's literally, wow, he's impeached for a second time, but he was still in office for 4 years. What's it mean? Nothing.
I know.
It takes longer to impeach somebody than for his time in office to run up. Like, move on with our country, move on with our lives, and fuck out of here with this shit. I'm tired of it. Okay, let's look towards the future and stop letting him dominate the headlines. That's what he wants. He's an egotistical maniac, and you're playing into it. Fuck out of here. He's sitting at home laughing, saying, haha, impeach me. What am I going to care? I'm out in 4 days, whatever it is. Like, fuck out of here with that shit. So
the impeachment, I think, is the reason why it's happening is so he won't run again for 2024. That's why. That's why it's happening.
It's not going to really matter.
I agree with you on that one 100%. We should just fucking move forward. Let's not give this too much news. If something changes, let's inform the country. Something changes, something drastic happens, let's inform the country. But let's not drag it out, because I think that's what also creates the separation. Yep. Fucking every news media will drag it out because you know why? It gets ratings. In the end, the news is out there to report this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make this my fuck out of here. My second fuck out of here. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me, Shucks Monster. In the end, all the media really fucking cares about is you either reading the newspaper, you clicking on that button on social media, and you tuning into the fucking show. Because all they care about is ratings. Because you know what rating does? It puts money in their pocket. Ratings gives them commercial. They they say they're out there to inform you, which they do. They do, yeah. But watch it for at least then. Watch the first hour, get what you need from it, and then tune that shit out and don't repeat it, because every hour when a new anchor comes in, breaking news. No, motherfucker, breaking news was about 2 hours ago, but you keep saying it's breaking news.
Yeah, first of all, okay, there's a couple things real quick, and I'm going to break it down and then we're going to go. Number one, you're not 100% accurate, because you got to remember, the one thing about news channels is I do agree they keep on saying breaking news, because depending on what time you're turning in, it is breaking news for that person, right? So you may have seen it 2 hours ago because you happened to watch it, but somebody 2 hours later, that's breaking news. So they have to talk about it. I get that. But the thing is that when these news outlets make it sound like they're happy Trump's leaving, they're all liars. They have never had more coverage about something in their careers as the 4 years Trump was there. And if you ask me, every freaking person who's in the news business voted for Trump to be reelected. Don't let them fool you. Fuck out of here with that. They want him back because they want 4 more years of juicy gossip. They want that hot topic. You know what I'm saying? So let's just leave it at that and let's move on with our lives. Okay? It's time to end the show.
And God bless America.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I got to find the outro. Give me a second. We're not leaving yet. Oh, there it is. All right, guys. We're out. Peace. Remember, Mazai, don't talk.
We got the right stuff. We put the hammer right down. Wanna be like us?